Welcome back to another JERiCK podcast episode. My name is JERiCK.
And I'm Francis.
Hey, what's up, dude?
I know, it's been a while.
I haven't seen you in a couple years.
Like literally years. Like what, 2 years?
Yeah.
About 2 years? Yeah.
But I guess give me a life update, man. Like, what's going on? You just got back from a trip.
I just came back from Bali. It was a birthday trip. And we'll just leave it there. We'll just leave it there.
How was Bali, though? I've never been to Bali.
It's like Philippines.
Is it?
Dude, it's like Philippines, but they're not. I would say they're more cultured. Like they're more cultured to a point where they embrace their ethnicity. Like in Philippines, like we basically like got modernized by Americans and stuff, but they're very cultured when it comes to like their livelihood.
I see. Because like I feel like when I think of travel, especially in Asia, like Bali is like one of the top like on the list, you know?
Yeah.
Like because it's so popular and every Instagram influencer has been there.
Destination wise, yeah. Yeah, which is crazy because like when I was there, we actually went to a lot of like Instagrammable places.
Yeah.
Like if you've seen my my recent post, where I was like this place called Limpuyang Temple. It's like Heaven's Gate, like where there's two pillars.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we stayed there for like an hour 30 just to call our line or like our number, and
Was it just like so many people?
yeah.
You know what's you know that meme on like Instagram, like the Sam Smith meme, where like when you see like the Instagram photo, it's just like so perfect, like and then like
Yes, actually,
it's exactly like that.
it's exactly like that because like so on that temple there's like once you get there, there's a process. So you're gonna go once you reach the destination.
Yeah.
You have to go to a pay the fees just to get to the entrance, and then on top of that, you actually need to like ride a transport going up because like it's all the way uphill.
Oh.
So if you walk that, yeah, that's gonna be a hike. So
But people walk it too sometimes, or is it you have to ride that ride?
you can ride it, but I mean you can hike it, but you'd rather like you'd rather ride a transport, bro.
But yeah, that still sounds pretty cool though. Like just getting to see that because when I went to Japan, we went to this really popular temple, which is I'm so terrible at names and I forgot it. But if you see like like the tourist spots in like Japan, like this is like one of the big temples there.
Yeah.
And dude, there were so many people in there. I'm like, this is not what the photos showed me, you know?
That's probably Photoshop, bro.
Yeah, like when I saw the photos, they were like, that shit was empty.
But
and then like,
when'd you get there?
when I got there, and there was just like a shit ton of people, so many different like tours. Because we did, my family did like that tour thing, just so like we get to like see like a bunch of the, I guess the tourist spots.
Yeah.
Which was actually really cool because I initially thought that doing the tour guides was kind of like limiting,
You're right.
but it's because like the thing about this tour guide that we did was like they gave us like an hour or like a couple hours to like explore this place just by us, you know what I mean?
So you're limited to like the things that you see because like if you need to go on this place, you have to actually like let's make sure we actually maximize our time here.
In a way, but then it's also like it was convenient because like they were just like taking us to like different spots every day, you know? So it's like, yeah, you get like, you can stay here for like, we stay here for an hour and then we get back to the bus and then go to the next spot. But then it's still going to be the same, I feel like, even if we just explored it by ourselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you still would have to like drive there and then however long you stay and then, you know what I mean?
The crazy thing is like if you're traveling, like, because it depends of like what kind of traveler you are, right?
Yeah.
So if you decide to like, oh, let's actually make a plan, or somebody makes a plan for you, like a tour guide or something. If you do that route, you're limited to like oh, this is what I actually planned for you. But if you do it yourself, you're like an a la carte kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, doesn't make sense. Like it depends on like what you're really looking for, right?
Right.
For me, I was just like, you know what, I'm with my family, and like my mom was like the one that planned it all, so I'm like, it's okay. Like, you
Just go with the flow.
yeah. I was like, hey, freaking trip to Japan, like fucking I'm down with that.
Right.
But we still had time to like, cause like the tour itself was only like in during the day, you know, so we still got to explore. Yeah, we went to like Shibuya crossing.
How busy was it?
Dude, there's a shit ton of people in there.
No
like
way.
that was, yeah. We went to this spot like where you can view it like kind of like on top of it.
Yeah, where you see the diamond in the middle?
Yeah. Like we went to this like lounge area, me, my brother, and his girlfriend and like her brother. So like there was 4 of us. We went to this lounge and we got to see like the whole crossing
Dang.
like happening, because like it's like the cars, and then like everything stops, and then like the people
Right.
freaking cross, and it's just like the whole experience, which is kind of dope.
It reminds me of this like what do you call this? Like a time lapse video. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool if you do that from daytime to nighttime.
Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of transition. Oh, my
Oh, like
God.
just to see like
Like,
all the people that crossed. Yeah, there was
It's
just
a
like
lot.
there were probably like hundreds of people crossing every 30 seconds, dude, which is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it was just like a cool experience, and I got to see. Yeah, Tokyo was fucking dope as fuck, dude.
I bet.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Japan?
I've been to Japan once.
Okay.
I lived there for a year.
Oh, you
It's
did?
just like
So you've been to Tokyo?
I've only been, well, I was in Kyoto.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
it's completely like on the other side of
Oh, yeah. Like Kyoto is a little bit more like
Like-
country.
Mhm.
Yeah.
like rural kind of thing, but more of traditional rather than like a modernized.
Yeah,
Tokyo.
because we went to Kyoto too. We were there for like 2 days.
No way.
Yeah. But we didn't get to, because I mean, total we were only in Japan for like 9 days.
That's still a long time, dude. Not like 9 days, dude.
Yeah,
was
but like
dying
we were
for-
in like Tokyo for like 3, and then Kyoto for like a couple days, and then we went to Osaka too. So we were just kind of all over the place.
all by train or you flew.
No, it was we took the bullet train too.
Oh,
But then like we had a bus because of like the tour thing.
Right.
But yeah. I don't know, like I love Japan. Like I would love to move there for a little bit too. Like I would be down to do that.
it's hard to like move there, dude. Like you need to have like either you marry somebody or
You can't just live there?
no. Like when I was there, I was on a student visa. So
Oh. Like you can't like go on vacation there for like 6 months? You
you
can't do
can.
that?
You can. I mean, you can. I mean, that's technically living. So,
Right?
but I don't know if you want to live longer than like actually like get a job or like
Nah.
stable.
Nah,
stable-
honestly, like when I'm saying living there, like I'm not gonna work there.
Okay.
It's more of like when I establish like the podcast, the YouTube, and then I just kind of like work remotely in a way.
Right,
Yeah, so like that's how I would want to do it. Like I don't want to work for like
dude. That's my dream.
that company or
Yeah.
any, because I feel like, I mean, from what I've seen, like they just overwork their workers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um, But I mean, I could be wrong too. But yeah, maybe I'm just like overgeneralizing.
Dude,
Like I'm sure you can find a decent job in Japan.
or a remote job and just like
Oh,
stay
yeah,
there for
that's
like
true.
6 months.
Yeah.
and then go somewhere else.
Yeah, because like that would be kind of ideal, right? To just have a remote job and then just travel everywhere.
It's funny that we're talking about Japan because like that's my next trip coming up. Well, planning on my next trip
Yeah.
next year because like I need to save my PTO right now. It's like I mean I still have a lot of PTO saved, but man, if I really want to like travel, I need a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, Japan's my next, and then after that I might go see Paris.
Okay. I've never been to Europe. Definitely would want. I mean, I feel like I just want to travel everywhere to just kind of experience different cultures. But I feel like I'm in a hustle phase in my my current life right now. So still in the building phase. So like once everything is kind of established, then
Do that.
yeah. because I mean, obviously, traveling costs money,
A lot.
and I'm 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 kind of bougie, so like I don't want to like stress myself just to like travel and then like be barely able to afford it, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Have you tried traveling by yourself though, like outside of country?
no, I mean, I went back home to the
Okay.
Philippines by myself. Does that count? No, probably not.
Uh, Not really. You have family there.
Yeah,
2 years ago, I actually went on a solo trip
yeah,
to Europe, and it was like from London to Edinburgh, and then from Edinburgh to Paris, and then back to London. It's crazy because like I was there for like a week, but I squeezed like everything that I want to like see.
yeah,
And what's good about it is that you're not like you're not being what do you call this? You're not being held by some or like being held back by somebody because like if you're
yeah.
traveling,
You're
with
in your own timeline.
right.
Yeah,
So like if I decided like I want to go to like Paris in like 2 hours, I can just do that.
yeah,
And which is crazy because like when I was in London, I didn't really like plan anything like when I was in Europe.
yeah.
And the places that I stayed with hostels, dude.
Oh yeah.
So that's where I meet.
How
Like,
was that experience?
it's actually fun.
Yeah.
Like there's
I'm
like
pretty sure there's gonna be like you're gonna be meeting like other travelers too, right?
yeah. Funny thing is like when I think my first night in London, I met like 3 people from different countries.
Yeah.
One of them I still talk to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, until now. It's like 2 years ago, and then we still talk. Like, hey, I'm trying to go to like this place. Mind if you want to join? I'm like, I wish.
Yeah.
But-
oh, that's cool.
But yeah, like I guess like if you want to sacrifice like because it's also cheap. So if you want to sacrifice your privacy and then like meet
the
other people.
luxuries. Yeah.
Because I was like going out of my comfort zone. Like I usually travel with people,
Yeah. Yeah.
but when I was like, you know what, it might be a good idea to just like like go out of my comfort zone, meet people, and like go on hostels. I didn't even think of like, hey, this is actually like $35 a night.
Yeah. And I think I'm pretty sure I can do that easily because I like being alone. I mean, like just like I guess the worries like I get lost and like all that stuff, but like freaking. It
It's like-
happens, right? Like,
Technology. Actually,
Yeah.
that's the best part. Like, if you get lost, like, dude, just try to like
Yeah.
embrace it. Like when I was in Paris, I don't know where my phone was dead.
oh yeah.
My phone was dead. I don't know where the fuck I am.
You're
And
just
the
like
next thing-
walking around.
yeah, the next thing you know, like I'm in freaking Louvre or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit. At least I know where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So you'll just like experience like the things that you don't even think that you'll do when you're going out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I can't wait to like get to travel again. But yeah, I guess I mean we're already kind of diving deep into that topic. We were gonna talk about traveling and how it changes your perspective and how it makes you feel.
Yeah. Well, for me, okay. So traveling for me, it's basically more of a coping mechanism because like I have a lot of things going on in my life, like recently with all like this career changes,
Yeah.
family and stuff, like relationship and friendships. And for me to like just get out of like that loophole, I travel, dude. Cause like,
Are you looking at it as like an escape from your life or
pretty much, because like if people actually, I mean, yes and no, because it sucks. Because like when you post something on social media, right? People think, oh, hey, this person's actually living his life because like he's going to places, and that's like the sad part about it.
that is I mean that is kind of true though because when you hear vacation, when you hear traveling, you're assuming that it's all fun and it's all just like you're living the life,
Right.
but then you don't really know what's really going on in that person, right? Because like you hear these stories of people traveling to like escape from reality and like maybe they just gone through a breakup and then they just want to, because like that's what happened to me when I first went to New York. That was like right after my breakup from like a 5-year relationship, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I was just like, you know what, I have family in New York. I'm just gonna go there for a month and just like, you know, really just get away from the situation. Which was, I feel like when you say getting away from the situation, is like you think about it, oh, like that's a little toxic, right? Like you're trying to like escape from like your problems.
Right.
But when I was in New York, like I was still having a good time, even though like, yeah, I was still kind of like heartbroken or whatever.
Right.
But it was like, I feel like I needed that in order to, I guess, deal with my problems in a way.
Right.
Or I guess just like kind of help you escape in a way.
Yeah, I was telling you about like how I traveled to Europe too, right? That was my almost 2.5 year relationship. Like I lived with this chick before,
Oh, okay.
so it's like our relationship actually was like mature enough to like, okay, we'll live together, and then
Yeah.
so yeah, like when I traveled to Europe, I thought that was like my escape to like, you know, I kind of lost track of myself and I need to find myself back. So I traveled on my own and go out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes like doing something out of the norm that you do, you'll discover something about yourself. Like I don't know.
True.
I don't know if you've heard this YouTube channel called Yes Theory.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of inspired me to do a lot of like out of normal shit. Like I didn't even expect that I'll jump off a freaking plane like one time.
Oh, yeah.
Like I did a skydiving out of nowhere with like a bunch of like interns, and I'm like, okay. And yeah, after that, I'm like, let me go out more and see what I can do. So that's how I landed up like traveling by myself.
Yeah, because that's how I kind of started vlogging too, honestly. Because I wanted to go out of my comfort zone because I'm like, I was always been really shy.
Right.
And then especially like filming yourself in front of a camera, like that's just like a whole nother level of, you know,
Right.
pressure. And yeah, but once I started doing it, I was like, oh, like it built confidence in me. You know, like if I can do this, like I can do other things too. And then like part of it too was me. If I started vlogging, then I was gonna say yes to a lot of like stuff. Because before that, like I've always said no to, you know, like when people invite me, like, hey, come to this event. Like I'm like, nah, I don't want to go out. Like I never really wanted to go out when I was in a relationship. And then once I get out of that relationship, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I should like start saying yes. Like when you said yes to her, I was like, what if I say yes to a lot of stuff?
Dude.
And like, remember when we used to hang out and then like we would like go to like the Yelp events
Yeah,
and
it was just like go have fun, and basically we didn't even expect the things that we actually
and then that was just part of like once I started saying yes to a lot of stuff, and then obviously for me in my mind, like, oh, content, right? Like, oh, I can vlog this or whatever,
Right.
But then it's also like me opening myself up to like so many different opportunities that people are like, you know, opening doors for me, which is like really dope.
That's how I actually got my job for H&M. It's like,
Oh yeah, you did work at H&M New York.
I was in New York for a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like a random thing because like I was recruited by this recruiter because they were looking for a creative director, and for some reason, like somebody submitted my portfolio to them.
Damn.
And then they sent an email to me and saying that, hey, we're interested in working with you. Would you down to like come down to New York to work for us? I'm like, okay. Well, I thought it was like a scam because like I don't know what I'm getting into, but at the same time, like, what if I say yes? So, dude, that's probably like the highlight of my life, my entire career.
Yeah.
But I have to give it up because family, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I said yes, I'm like, okay, so what does this entail? I'm like, I live in New York. I'm living my life. I'm actually also like pursuing photography and videography at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, shit, I'm living life.
Yeah.
But like looking back, like if I said no, I'm probably like stuck in a nutshell. So,
And then I feel like you would regret it, right?
yeah,
And then, because the thing is, when you do something out of your comfort zone, I feel like there will never be regret on that. Even if it fails, at least you know you tried.
right.
You know what I mean?
And there's nothing wrong on trying. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to fail to a point where, like, okay, it humbles you at the same time.
Yeah.
And then it's a life lesson to, like, hey, if things doesn't work, maybe there's another opportunity.
Exactly. And then when people say no to like opportunities like that,
Mm-hmm.
like you're already failing because like
Right.
you said no to,
Mm-hmm.
like even if it's just like an intern or whatever, right? Like you're still kind of like stepping to that next step towards whatever your dream is,
Right.
So like I always kind of encourage people to just like go after to like whatever your passion is, just go after it.
Right. Like, chase your dream. There's nothing wrong on
Yeah.
that. Like, it's okay. Like, at the beginning, it's very intimidating because, like, you don't know where to start. But
Oh, yeah.
at least you need to start somewhere.
Yeah, you never know.
Right.
It's like it's just all experience, dude. Because you never know what you're doing in the beginning, anyways.
Right. Like, when I got that job, dude, I didn't even expect that I will go to places. Like, I've traveled all across the United States except for one state. Only one state.
Really, you've been to all the states?
Yeah, only Montana is the only one that I
Holy
need to
shit,
check out.
dude. I mean, that's cool.
So yeah, that opportunity with working with H&M, they actually like fly me to, like, hey, we actually have a gig here. I want you to make like content on this one,
Yeah.
on this collection, because depending on like whether you're shooting for fall, yeah. So they fly me everywhere. So I'm like, shit, this is a cool job. so yeah, like I've said, when it comes to like that kind of opportunity, like traveling, like we were talking about, sometimes you just don't know like when that opportunity comes,
Yeah.
because like when it comes to like going places, you just don't know whether, hey, this person can actually like travel, but some people can't do that. So
You're talking about like when you get a job that like requires you to travel. Yeah.
like, or like, let's say you get a 9-to-5 job and you're stuck somewhere.
Yeah, that's
So-
true too.
So you have to like save like what I'm doing right now, to be honest.
So
I'm, like, stuck.
go to work and then save money so you can travel.
Right. It's like more of a luxury instead of like, oh, I really want to do this in a long time.
Yeah. Honestly, because like that's how I would. Because when you think about traveling or when you're thinking about vacation, like it's a luxury for a lot of people, right? It's because they're stuck. I mean, I don't like to say stuck, but I mean it is kind of stuck in a job that I don't know. Like maybe you like it, or maybe you don't, right? And then you only get a chance. Like what is it? Like 2 weeks a
Yeah.
year, right?
About 2 weeks. Well, yeah, maximum for a 9-to-5 is like 2 weeks, I think.
Damn.
You can
So you
prob-
work all year long and then you get 2 weeks of vacation.
Right.
That sounds miserable.
It is. Because like there are like so many places that I want to go to, but like you have to think like I have to work this much in order for me to get like just 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So-
that sounds insane, dude.
But
It's just like, I don't know. I feel like the system is just not,
it's not ideal.
yeah, it's not ideal. Like, I'm just going to end it at that because, like, we could sit here, bitch about it all day long. And
I mean, we can. But
yeah, yeah, but it's just like it's not gonna get us anywhere. And that's why it's like I always encourage people to just like go after what you passionate about and what you dream of. Because for me, yes, like it's a struggle, right? But like when I really look into it and like really pay attention, it's like I'm so lucky that I get to do what I want every fucking day. I just make music. I fucking do podcasts, like whenever I can. And
you have that freedom.
yeah, like when I really think about it, because like, damn, like, because I used to work a regular 9-to-5 job,
Right.
and it's Like, I mean, I still did it, but like sometimes when you work in a job, sometimes after work, like you don't really want to do anything, you know, because you're so drained from that job that
And
you're
then you
just
only have the
yeah.
weekends.
And then like yeah, you get a weekend, but then sometimes you just want to chill on the weekend. So it's
Right.
like, and then you're like get in that trap where you're just like not pursuing your dreams anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's been happening for me for the past couple weeks, because like I work like from 7 o'clock to 6, so technically like 11 hours.
Yeah.
But on the weekends, once that weekend hits, I'm like, should I actually do something or should I just like relax? And it sucks because like,
Because you want to rest,
Right,
right?
you
Because like,
wanna
when are
rest.
you gonna rest?
but at the same time, if you want to like do something for yourself, you have to go out there and basically
Yeah.
do something for yourself. So whether you should listen to your body or you should listen to your mind,
Yeah.
it's always the difficult part. Is like, do I want rest right now or should I just like, fuck it, I'll sacrifice my body and just like do it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But it's just like, I don't know. When I think about it, like going back to 9 to 5, it's just like, man, I don't know.
It's difficult.
Like, yeah,
Because, like-
I've been out for so long that it's just like like definitely not in the long term for sure. Like if I need to get like a 9 to 5 job just to kind of like get
Be
some
sustaining.
sustainable or like stability, I might. But then I'm already like, once I get there, I'm like, my foot is already halfway out the door.
Right.
Like
so
I already
I'm
know.
not
I'm just
gonna-
like, fuck. I don't give a fuck about this job. Like you can fire me if you want, because like I don't really care, you know.
Dude,
Because like I don't necessarily like want to be there anyway. So like yeah,
it's funny because like since you're talking to a 9 to 5 person, it's basically the same thing like I'm trying to do right now. I'm like, you know what? I'm already like, I don't even give a fuck right now. So like, if you fire me, fire me. It's like I have a different kind of career path after this. So shit, fucking fire me.
yeah, and then that's why like I would rather just build whatever, like what I'm building right now, and just do that. Because like honestly, I'm like so much happier now that I'm actually doing podcasts, doing music.
Right. And it's something that you like to do. So
Yeah. Like it doesn't feel like work. Like yeah, I might not get paid yet, but you know,
at least you're happy.
yeah.
So, and that's one thing that like you have to consider when it comes to like your career path too. Like, are you actually happy, right?
Yeah, because like sometimes when you sometimes I get focused on the numbers, right? And then when I look at it, I'm like, damn, like it's not high enough or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like the money's not there. But once you get to that point, you know what I mean? Like you just you just be consistent every single day.
Right.
And then eventually, you know, you look back a couple years later, 4 or 5 years, 10 years, like, fuck, who knows where this is going to be in 10 years, you know?
Yeah. Who knows?
And like 10 years from now, I'm going to be so happy that I didn't give up.
Yeah, because at least you know that you actually like I actually did it for myself,
Yeah,
not for like, hey, somebody's like building their empire and I'm just helping them.
exactly. And then like, once you like work for somebody else too, like they can just fire you anytime they want. And then there's already next one, right? Fucking, you know, there's a line of people trying to get into your job.
Right. It's funny that you said that because like at my job right now, Tesla, like our HR partner will actually just tell you like you're replaceable. Like
Oh yeah,
like
everybody's replaceable.
right. Like, but if you're your own boss, like yeah, I can fire myself.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, it's like a double-edged sword because like you got to do everything, but then also like fuck, you have control.
yeah, you have their
Yeah,
freedom. Yep.
I feel like that's the most important part for me is the freedom. Like I really so lucky that I can just do whatever the fuck every single day, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm so blessed. Yeah.
But how are you doing that though? Because like, if like let's say you are your own boss, but at the same time, you also have like responsibilities to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, I still, you know, I do photo shoots and I do Uber.
So
That's
just
kind of
gig.
like my job in a way. But then like those two is just like it's optional.
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah, it's optional. It's because like, hey, if I don't want to work that day, like fuck it, dude.
Right.
But then it's just like that's up to me, right? That has
Right.
to be my discipline to be like, hey, I need this amount of money every month so I can afford my bills.
Right.
And then, you know, like that's, hey, I gotta work when I gotta work, right?
Right.
But I don't know, like I still value freedom over money.
It's all about the hustle, right?
Yeah.
So like the more hungry you are when it comes to like happiness, you'll basically just like I'll do whatever it takes to like make myself happy. I mean, not do whatever it takes, but at least like you're leading towards that.
Yeah, because when I think about it, really, it's like I have few like full-time jobs. The other few full-time jobs that I have is not paying me at all.
Right.
You know, like the podcast, the
Podcast.
music, yet.
You'll get there.
Yeah, but like, yeah, like I said, like once it gets there, then like that's gonna be like, oh, I can do this full time now. I don't have to do the other things that I don't necessarily would want to do. You know.
Right.
So like that's really the goal. And then the freedom, dude.
Damn. That's what I want too, because like right now, since I haven't been doing a lot of photography, like I'm more focused into just like seeing the world.
Yeah.
So traveling. That's basically my goal. It's just like how am I gonna sustain that, knowing the fact that traveling itself is a luxury.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure, dude.
Dude, just plane tickets itself, like holy crap, it's like $1,000 at least
Yeah,
somewhere.
especially if you go like out of the country, you know.
Right. And that's also one thing that I got from you is that you started vlogging, and I tried vlogging. I did a couple.
Hey, you
like,
did a couple, so that means you did it.
So yeah, I did, but it's just not sustainable, or I wasn't consistent about it.
Yeah.
But if I can actually like correlate that and then traveling, maybe I can probably like transition slowly.
Yeah,
But
like
it's
once you,
just, like,
why don't you
hard.
don't you have a YouTube channel?
I do actually, but I haven't made a video
Because
for,
there's
like,
so many people that do like travel vlogging, and I'm even considering doing that too. Yeah, I feel like eventually that's gonna be like one of the things.
right.
Because I also want to build my YouTube channel too. Just because that's gonna be like the key to like, if I want to travel without doing a remote job, like having a YouTube channel is gonna be like the
sustaining part for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even though like YouTube is kind of like fluctuating all the time, but still, you know.
Yeah. I mean, well, you have like at least what 20,000 followers now.
On YouTube, yeah.
It's just like the engagement is like who will be your audience, right? It's like
Yeah.
your target audience, because if you're going to that realm when it comes to like YouTube and content creation, there's gonna be a lot of people like, oh, this person's like doing this, but at the same time, why would I watch this if like there's like a bigger people in the industry?
Oh, you're thinking
it's
about yourself being like a imposter syndrome.
Yeah, which
Like, why would people want to watch you instead of watching the bigger channel, right?
right,
This is what I would say is people are going to watch your content because of you.
not okay.
Like, you're the niche. Like, obviously, it's going to be like some people are going to like you, some people are going to be, you know, don't. And that's just the reality of it. You can't have everybody liking your shit.
Right.
Because the way I think about it too in the podcast, right? There's so many self-development podcasts out there. There's freaking hundreds, thousands, right? And why am I doing this?
It's you.
Yeah, it's me, dude. Like, it's my channel. Like, people are gonna watch my content, and then like the guests here
Yeah.
is because like they like this, you
Right,
know?
like that's the reason why I listen to you.
Exactly. And so like when you think about it that way, when you're, if you want to do travel vlogging or whatever YouTube channel you want to do, like you are the niche, dude. So like don't even think about, or didn't even compare about, don't compare yourself to other big
Right.
YouTubers that
Start building on yourself.
yeah, like you
basically.
can't compare your 0 hours
Mm-hmm.
to somebody's 10,000 hours.
Right.
Like I'm sure they've started at 0. Everybody starts at 0.
Right.
And then everybody starts somewhere, right? And like when you think about like, oh, this guy has 1 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's also been on YouTube for like 10 years.
Yeah, they
You know what I
developed
mean?
something about it.
Exactly. So like you just starting off, hey, like people are gonna like your personality, people are gonna like your voice. Maybe they like because you're Filipino, like I don't know, like
Like I think what I'm getting is like, who gives a shit about like what other people think? Like if people
Yeah.
likes you, people
Oh,
likes
yeah.
you. If people don't like
Exactly.
you, yeah,
so yeah. Yeah, I think you should do it. Because like if you're already gonna travel, like
might as well.
and you said if you're gonna work remotely, like
Mm-hmm.
might as well build a YouTube channel, dude, honestly.
Right. It's like more of a side gig.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing basically.
Yeah, because like YouTube's not gonna go anywhere, I feel like, at least for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're like really high up there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I've been watching a lot of streamers like Kai Sinat
Oh, okay, I've
and
heard of it, yeah.
and Speed. Oh my god, those guys are crazy.
Yeah, and then like, even if you look at those streamers too, because I watch streamers sometimes. I don't personally watch the streams, but I watch like their YouTube videos, and those guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like their progress from nobody to somebody is
Yeah.
crazy, and for them doing that for like a long time, that's consistency.
Yeah, no, you just
So-
gotta fucking put in the work every single day. Because sometimes like forget that like when I think about the podcast, like man, how come nobody's
Nobody's watching. Nobody's.
or how
listening.
come I haven't reached like thousands of views yet? You know what I mean? Like my average is around like 50 to 100.
Right.
But then I'm just like, oh, it's only been 5-6 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
So
that's nothing.
right, like compared to like I wouldn't say compared, but you have to think of like the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
So where does this podcast will actually like lead me to?
Exactly. Yeah.
I probably should put that mentality input into my head. But
That really is the key, dude. It's like if you really wanna be successful, you just gotta focus on yourself and like don't worry about the outside because you have no control over that.
right,
You have no control on who's gonna subscribe to your channel. You have no control who's gonna watch your shit.
yeah, you can't control who's gonna like you.
Yeah, exactly. And all you can do is like
Be yourself.
make the best content as possible and just be yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and also you have to be yourself in the beginning. You can't, especially for like vlogging content. Sometimes you get a little,
Out of character.
yeah, because you know, like you want to try to be like, I don't know, like try to be like more confident or more, you know what I mean? Instead of just like, hey, if you're shy and awkward, like fucking just be that, you know?
Right. Like
Uh.
that one awkward video or vlogger that's like, oh, hi guys. I don't know what to talk about, but
Hey, people still watch that shit, you know?
there's like there's this YouTube channel that I was watching, like Awkward at First. He's Korean.
That's his YouTube name?
Yeah. Awkward at First. Like he started like just like talking in front of camera saying, I don't really know what I'm gonna talk about, but I'll just like film myself.
Yeah.
And then later on, like I see his YouTube channel grow up. Now he's like married and basically like the most outgoing person
Oh, yeah.
out of nowhere.
See, it's just like every single day consistency, dude. Like I'm sure he's done freaking hundreds of videos.
Oh yeah.
And then like if you think about that, like if you go to the gym every day, you're gonna build muscle at some point, you know? Like,
Right. Consistent.
if you're just so consistent to everything that you're doing, you're just gonna get so much better. It's all gonna. I mean, your first few videos, it's gonna be shitty for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen that when all
Yeah.
my videos. I'm like, what the heck is
It's
this?
like this just it is what it is. But you can't stop that. You can't stop yourself from making, you know,
right.
the content.
Yeah. Because basically, everything starts with you. Like, as long as you have that motivation to like keep pushing,
Yeah,
yeah, you'll go somewhere.
yeah. Because I remember I tried to do like a solo like YouTube thing, right, where I'm just kind of talking. The first one was definitely awkward, dude. The second one was still awkward. And then like, like I just gotta keep, because like when I do podcasts, it's easier because I'm just like talking to you.
Right. We have like at least a conversation going
Yeah,
on. But
there's like a bounce back. But if you're talking by yourself, it's a little bit different. But like it's a process.
I remember because like when I first started vlogging, like on my very first video, I don't even know what I want to talk about. Like I just say, "Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, friends." Oh, I don't know if you remember that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was like doing that, and after that, I'm like, I don't know what I'm actually gonna talk about. Like this is awkward.
Yeah.
But the more you do it, I guess like the more confident you build. Cause like I can see my growth. Like I think I did like 3 or 4 vlogs, but I got less awkward like the more I do it.
Yeah.
But it's still awkward, but at least it got better.
Yeah, because I think I did probably like 70, 80.
Yeah, and a couple of those I'm on it.
Yeah. Definitely got better like along the way. I remember the first ones was just like super shy, super awkward. But then the more I did it, it was just like I was so, I guess, a little bit more comfortable and just like doing it. And it became a little bit more natural. So like it's all practice.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, consistency.
Exactly. That's just all goes back to it, dude.
Damn. I gotta start consistently traveling. That's what I need. But my wallet's not gonna be happy for it.
But hey, like going back to travel too, like so what have you learned like while like traveling?
A lot of things. Cause like when I travel, like I don't just like go and basically like see places, right? I see culture. Like how is it different from what I grew up to?
Yeah.
And comparing to like here what we actually do in US, you'll see a different kind of perspective of life when you travel, because like, oh, this is a different lifestyle that I do. That's like, for example, when I was in Bali, like a lot of people there, they hustle, like hustle. Like some people will just like ask you to like, hey, do you need a tour guide or anything? People will actually reach out to you in order for them to like live.
Oh, I mean, I feel like same in the Philippines too. Like they just have like that
Yeah.
hustle culture because like life is so tough, you know?
Yeah, but they're I would say they're a little bit inferior than Philippines, because like when I ask them like how much do you usually make like doing this, and it's like $300 a month is basically what they make,
Oh, okay.
and for them it's like it's not enough for them to like if they have family it's not sustainable, like they can't live with it just like
Yeah.
$300 a month, because you have like rent, you also have like to pay like whatever bills they need, like food. So they need to like hustle. Like, okay, I'm your client today, and then tomorrow, you'll try to find another client. And like for me, it was like I'm just fortunate enough to have like a decent job right now
Yeah.
that I can actually like, hey, I can actually like do all these luxurious things. But if I put myself on that situation, I don't think I'll make it.
Yeah, because when you live in a third world country, it's all survival. That's why we're so lucky that we live here in the US in a way that, yes, it's also, I mean, it's tough here too,
Right.
but we have a choice. We have a little bit more of an option to actually pursue the things that we want to pursue.
Right.
When you live in a different country, or especially in a third world country,
It's different.
like all you're thinking about is survival. Like there's no room for like, oh, I want to make it. I mean, you probably can. I mean, it's all mindset, right?
Right.
It really is all mindset. But like when you don't have that much of an option, like if you have to make that $300 a month somehow,
Yeah.
like there's only room, you know?
You're limited to the things that you can actually do.
Exactly.
So yeah. So I think that's what I've learned basically when I was like traveling. Like you have to embrace what you have right now, because like what if you're in that situation, right? Like how would you put yourself, or what would you do if you're on that situation? Like, do I actually keep doing this, or what would you do something different in order for your life to like be better?
Yeah.
Because like, for example, when from Bali, let's say in London or in Edinburgh, like everybody there was just like cheerful. Like, dude, they freaking drink during lunch hours. It's like during work too, and I'm like, damn, this country is crazy. It's like, who drinks at the middle of like the day, and they still have to go to work. And if you compare that to Bali, to where like most of the people were just like, oh, I need to actually make money. Like,
Mhm.
I need to hustle. Like, I need to like make sure that my client is actually like happy. Maybe give me a nice tip.
Yeah.
Um, it's night and day difference.
Mm-hmm.
Because like me, like how I see it is like, if I'm gonna, because I kind of like, when I was in the Philippines, when I used to live in the Philippines, we're poor. Like, I was just lucky that my grandparents actually made it here
Yeah.
and actually got us here. But if I was there, I'm pretty sure I'm still hustling like on the streets.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's like it's so different.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't know. I mean, I respect the hustle,
Mm-hmm.
but then like sometimes I just wish that people would realize that there's more options out there.
Right.
But then it's like it's so hard to like really think outside of the box when you're like,
Your
Like-
options is not a
yeah,
lot.
it's like if you're thinking about every day, like, do I have a food to eat?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, if that's all they can like really like problem solve is like, can I afford to make money so I can eat today? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that's crazy.
But yeah, other than that, I think also I find joy in like traveling. I mean, by myself too.
Yeah.
Because when I travel by myself, like you find, like I've said, you find a different kind, like a different perspective of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like things that you don't even think that, oh, I can actually do this, compared to like, oh, I'm traveling with people. Like, I'm limited to the things that I do. Like when I was traveling solo in Europe, it was like, I didn't even expect that I'll meet other people. Like, I'll actually like go out of my comfort zone and talk to them and like say, hey, my name is Francis. Oh, I'm from US. So yeah, it's just like those opportunities are like something that I kind of like grab when I was like traveling by myself, versus if I'm actually like with people, with friends or family, like I'm only like in close to that group. Like, I can't really like, I mean, you
Yeah.
can branch out, but at the same time, it defeats the purpose of like going with people. Like,
Mhm.
you know, like instead of like spending time with them, you're like just doing on your things on your own. Might as well travel
Yeah,
yourself.
that's true.
So
Yeah, I think that's the one thing about traveling that I really enjoy too. Is just like the feeling of freedom. Because when I was in Japan, I was there for 9 days, but I didn't worry about bills. I didn't worry about anything. I didn't worry about my job. I didn't worry about my,
yeah, you're like, your mind is constantly free.
yeah. Because honestly, like, because before I went to Japan, my mind was only constant like the grind, right? The hustle.
Mm-hmm.
You got to build this podcast. You got to build this music and blah blah blah. And when I went to Japan, I had an intention. I was just like, you know what? I just want to be on vacation mode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to worry about shit because, like, even here, even if I take a day off or I'm like just chilling,
Mm-hmm.
I still worry about like, oh, I need to be making content. Or, you know what I mean? But when I was actually in Japan, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy whatever's in front of me. Like, I'm not gonna think about whatever is back home. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like I was so free, dude. And that's why I enjoyed it so much because I just felt like I was just living life. Like, this is how you're supposed to live life. You're supposed to just be chilling and having fun all day.
Right. Like, damn, I wish I've done that when I was in Bali. I was like, dude. So my mind is constantly running. Like, I try to like not to think about work and like everything that's going on in my life.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes there's gonna be times where everything will just like hit you out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm here, but at the same time, why am I thinking of this? You know? But if you really want to like enjoy something, you just have to live the moment.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I don't know if you meditate or do you meditate?
No.
Yeah, I think you should, dude, especially if your mind's going 100 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to just like slow it down. And that's why, yeah, like I usually meditate in the morning. Even like before we started the podcast, like I like to take deep breaths just so I can just like reset, you know?
Right.
Because sometimes like when you're just constantly on the go, like there's no room to like reset or reboot.
It's just like keep going and going. And
Yeah. Because if you think about your computer is on 24/7, right?
Right.
Sometimes it just like slows down because it's just been on for forever. And then once you turn it off and then turn it back on and then like it's good again. You know what I mean?
It resets.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. Like if you really think about meditation, it's like a reset button. Like think about it in comparison to like how your computer is.
Right.
Like reset your brain, reset your body, reset your mind, dude.
Yeah. It's crazy because like I recently just started doing therapy as well. And
Oh, that's good.
yeah, because like
I don't do therapy. This is my therapy.
This is your therapy. I was gonna say this is your therapy. Like my therapist actually told me to like if you're being overwhelmed, like take a deep breath, like slow down and meditate, like because everything can be overwhelming and it's okay to be overwhelmed.
Yeah. And it
But-
happens.
Right. And as long as you know when to like take a pause and basically like take a deep breath and continue on what the things are going on, at least you know that you actually give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Because the more you actually keep going and going, you're just beating yourself up. And that's probably why, like, for the past couple months for the past couple months or a year, my mind's been like consistently like running and running and running to a point where like sometimes I don't even know myself. Which is like scary because like I know the fact that I can actually do a lot better, but at the same time, like when will I actually like stop thinking about like everything and then take a deep breath and then continue what I want to do?
Yeah. Because honestly, it's really all mindset, dude. The way your life is because of all how you view things and how your perspective is with your life. Because like it's all perspective, right? Like you look at your life right now. Do you think that you're lucky or do you think that you're like, oh man, this just kind of sucks?
It's a little bit of both, which sucks
it's like if you just talked about it earlier. Like when you went to Bali, people just like can barely afford shit, you know, and then you were there for vacation, and like, you're basically like so much more well off than like so many people out there. So like if you think about it that way, it's like damn, like I'm so lucky to be in this situation,
right?
Because you can either focus on that or you can focus like, oh man, my life sucks, you know. And yeah, like meditation has helped me a lot. Like I meditate every morning, and it's like it kind of I guess starts my day in a positive kind of, I guess, trajectory, you know. So like it's just like it's a better way of kind of facing the day instead of just like, man, me waking up in the morning, I'm already like stressed out with whatever bullshit I'm dealing with, you know?
There's also this YouTuber that I watched. His name is Hayden Peterson. He's a photographer, Australian photographer, and he's been dealing with like depression and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's like his way on battling it is basically meditation, like doing meditation every single day, and like it does help him to like breathe or like take a moment and basically think how his day is gonna be.
Yeah.
And basically if he needs to like stop for a minute, okay, I need a breather, he'll do the same thing again. But I think that's like meditation is actually a good thing. It's just I haven't been doing it. I need to start doing it now.
And
To be
there you go,
honest,
dude. There's so many things that you need to be doing.
dude, I have a lot of.
And
things that I need to
honestly,
do.
like, it will change your life for sure, dude. Just doing that thing, just changing your perspective and everything, it's gonna change so much. Because, like, for me, my self growth really started when I was 27, and that's hard. I mean, like, that's kind of because when we think when you're in your early 20s, right? You're like, man, like that's already so old. But then when I look back at it, I'm just like, no, that was a good time, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's when I kind of started like self-developing, right? I started going to the gym because I mean, honestly, that was because like right after a breakup,
Right.
and then it was just like, all right, I need to work on myself. So I started going to the gym, started hustling, and like I lost a bunch of weight, and then after that, like after just like that physical transformation, then I started working on my mental health because I was like, all right, I lost hella weight. I'm feeling really good, but like my mind was still kind of like very, I guess not
Cloudy.
cloudy. Yeah.
Best way. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it just wasn't,
It wasn't there. Like,
yeah, it wasn't there, you know? So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should start looking at like motivational videos. And that's how I found out about like Gary Vee and like Casey Neistat, and just kind of like, I was getting inspired by all these like people on YouTube. And that's how it kind of started, like, oh, if you just think positive, that things are going to change. And then obviously that was only like the beginning, right? Like that wasn't like, it wasn't like, oh, now I feel like awesome. It was just kind of like, oh, like I should just like start working on this.
Like thinking on a different perspective.
Yeah. And then that's when I started vlogging and doing photography. And like, that's how I met you guys.
Right.
Like that was already kind of, I was already in my, I guess, self-development journey during that time.
It's not your peak yet. I know that.
Yeah.
That fact.
Yeah, during that time, I was like, I was still struggling, but it made me feel good that I was working on something.
Yeah. You have growth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was like progress. So I'm like, oh, like this is good. Because honestly, during that time, I thought I was like, oh, like this is it. Like I already figured it out. And then, you know, another relationship happened, and then like fucking put me back into like a different kind of loophole. And then I got into psychedelics, and then that's when like kind of unlocked me into like spirituality. And then that's how like for the last I would say the last 3 years, like really kind of changed me. And I don't know if you noticed, but like I'm a totally different person than who I was when I first met you guys.
Yeah, because like before, like we all care about like content.
Yeah.
But now, like listening to your podcast is all about self-development, and I'm like, this is not the JERiCK that I met before.
Because honestly, my old podcast, the JERiCK podcast, it was like all talking about like dating and girls. You know what I mean? Like, because that was the mindset I had during that time. It was just
totally different.
Yeah, and that's why, because I thought about it when I got this place, right? I was like, oh, I'm gonna do the podcast again. Should I like reboot the JERiCK podcast? Because it's been like a couple years.
Yeah.
But then I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm a different person now. I think it's time for like a new branding, new kind of, I guess, a new start.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, with this podcast, I want to focus about self-development, spirituality, and like whatever would help other people that are listening, you know? Like, hopefully, like, when you're listening, you're learning about something, you know?
I did actually, like when you said that, because I remember on your first episode when you talk about how you developed the jivij. It was like a reflection of yourself, basically.
Yeah.
So I see it as a positive thing, because like you have to reflect about yourself in the first place. So it does actually like gives me a lot of like insights on like, hey, I probably like should listen to more of these, because like there's a lot of like self-development thing that I
because like even though this is very unhinged podcast, right? Like I cuss a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes we talk shit. You know what I mean? Like it's because like I want it to be so authentic that it's just like hopefully it's relatable for people because like yes, I talk about self-development and like I want to help as many people as I can, spirituality and all that stuff, but I'm still me. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
sometimes I like fucking stupid shit, you know what I mean? Like I'm still a person.
And that's one thing too. Like, you don't want to be somebody that you're not.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like, as long as like you know that you're true to yourself, that's what matters.
Yeah, and that's why like even from the beginning too, I told myself like no edits from the intro starts, and then when the outro, like that's it. Like whatever you say in the podcast, whatever I fucking say in the podcast,
It's
like
there, like, who gives
it's
a
there.
fuck?
Yeah, I'm just like unless some unless a guest would like really ask me like, hey, if they ask me to like take it down, then I will take it down. But then other than that, and it's just like I'm not editing shit, you know?
Right.
So
'Cause, like,
either I release this or I don't, you know?
Because like at the end of the day, it's still you.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's because like when you mentioned right earlier, it's like why would somebody or why would somebody watch your content if they could watch somebody that's already established? It's because like I said, like you're the niche. So for me, like this is my podcast, you know, and like whoever is watching it is because they like whatever this is, you know.
right. It's like they want to watch you because of you,
Yeah,
not because like, oh, this is just like a wannabe or something.
yeah.
So
And like that's why on the get go, I was just like, I just need to be me. I just need to be like, because I even talking about psychedelics too, it's a touchy subject for a lot of people.
yeah,
Because it's sometimes it's taboo for a lot of people. Obviously, some people don't agree with it. But then, because I thought about it, it's like, should I talk about it? It's like for a while, I'm just like, maybe not. But
'Cause
then
it's
I was just,
sensitive,
yeah, so it's a sensitive subject. But then it's such a big part of
who you
me,
are.
who I am, that I cannot talk about it. Because like my mom watches this podcast.
Oh, really?
Like I haven't really talked to her about like psychedelics. Like we haven't had that conversation yet.
But she knows.
I mean, I'm sure she already knows if she watched all the episodes, you know. So like, I'm sure she has some sort of idea. But honestly, like, because I've had a psychedelic episode. I don't know if you've seen that one.
I've seen it.
Yeah. It's just like, well, I just hope that she would, because my mom is very conservative. Just to say that.
I mean, most Filipino
Yeah, I feel
parents
like
are.
most Filipinos are.
So-
But I just hope that she sees like the changes that it like gave me is like positive, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, like I'm a druggie, you know what I mean? Like it's psychedelics is so much different than any other drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
And at least, I mean, as long as she's supportive about what you're doing, like, it's basically for yourself. So
Yeah. I mean, she supports me. Like, I mean, she watches podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she's proud of me and so. Because then she even told me too. Like, she's like, "Oh, like you're pretty good at it." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
You could have like asked, did you watch my latest episode?
Yeah.
What did I
like,
talk about?
I haven't asked her about it yet. Like, we never had that conversation, but that should be an interesting one.
Man, you should invite your mom here, like, as a guest. That
Yeah.
should be your 50th episode.
I mean, I'm sure she might be down. I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it yet. But yeah.
Give it a try. Who knows? Like,
Yeah.
that might be an interesting
Maybe
story.
like a special episode, or like my mom is the guest of the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because like you know, like sometimes you don't know what your parents actually think. I mean, they obviously they just want the best for you,
Yeah.
but at the same time, if they actually like disagree on like the things that you do, of course you'll gonna get yelled at.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, it's still your life.
Yeah. And that's how, I mean, I've had that conversation with her, with all because she talked to me about like, why am I pursuing this, right? Why am I pursuing YouTube? Why am I pursuing music?
Right.
Because I mean, I told her the same reason. I'd be like, because this is what I want to do. And like, nothing that you're going to say is going to change that.
Right.
And like, we already had that established and be like, yeah, you can't change my mind because what I'm doing is for me. And like, my life, you know?
Right.
Like I'm the one that has to live this life for however long I'm gonna live, you know?
Right. It's your choice.
Yeah. And that's why like it's so hard when, especially like I don't know if you're like this with your family, if your decisions is based on them.
Actually, yes. Like most of, because right now I would say like, because I make the most in my household,
So you provide.
so I provide like majority of it.
Yeah.
So whatever decision I do, like for example, if I want to like quit Tesla, for example, and I want to go somewhere else, they will be affected with my decision because I provide.
Yeah.
And if I leave, like how are they gonna support what I can actually support?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Like if somebody's relying on you,
Mm-hmm.
then it's hard to be selfish, right?
Yeah, and that's been my life since like I came here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like when I actually like, so here's my story. When I got here, I didn't finish high school top class. Went to college. Didn't even ask help for my family to like support my tuition fee. Everything is basically paid by myself. And then when I got the gig from H&M, I told them like, hey, I'm gonna help you guys out. I'll buy the house for you guys, and then from here on out, I'll support you.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know it's like very selfless of me,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I'm sacrificing myself for them.
How does
Which-
that make you feel?
It sucks sometimes.
Is there resentment?
there
Well, based on the answer, there's a little bit of resentment.
there is a little bit of resentment because like I want to do something for myself, but at the same time, I have to think of somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally understandable. And then like, do you right?
I know, right? Like, if I really want to do something, like they have to support me, at least, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's my life,
Yeah,
and I've done enough for them to like say, "Hey, you can actually like do your own thing, because like you deserve it at least for like helping us like this."
yeah. And like for me, the reason why I'm such in a like selfish phase in my life right now is because I'm lucky enough to be in that situation where I can. Like my parents don't. I don't need to provide for my parents. My parents are, you know, they already. My mom was a nurse, so like, you know, she was making good money,
Right.
and like she basically like, hey, she worked so hard in her life, and now that she's just like retired, and now she's just doing whatever she wants, right?
Right.
So I'm so lucky to be able to do that. Like I don't take that for granted. It's because a lot of people don't get that option.
Right.
Like for you, it's like it's hard for you to just be like, hey, I'm gonna fucking drop everything and just like do me, right? Like that's just probably not an option for you. I mean, it is, but like that's up to you if you want to do that.
Yeah, and it's just like hard because like you have to consider other people's lives.
Yeah.
And if those lives depends on you, it's on you.
Yeah.
Which it sucks because like you don't want to be on that position to where you have to be selfish, but at the same time you have to.
Yeah, because when you say selfish, it's not that you don't care about other people. It's more that you want to put yourself first and you want to take care of yourself first.
Right.
Because yes, you are providing financially for your family, right? But then how is that affecting you, like mentally, like spiritually? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's probably. I'm gonna assume that it's putting more stress in you than you'd like to admit,
Yes.
and it's like,
100%.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's. I don't know because I've never been in that situation, which is I'm so lucky. But like I totally understand that being in that situation is like, hey, like fuck it, like family's family, right? Like I don't know, like I don't know what the right answer is, you know?
Sometimes it's like, for me, should it be family first or should I go this time rather than like family? It's always been my constant battle every single day, bro.
You know what it is? It's because you've been. I don't like to say program, but like for a long time you've kind of taken care of people, right? Or taking care of your family. So you've become there's no way of saying this, but like people pleaser.
Yes, 100%. Like a
and
lot
that's-
of people say that.
And that's the thing is like, yes, you're taking care of your family, but now you have a tendency of becoming a people pleaser. But then it also kind of becoming a people pleaser or being a people pleaser, that's gonna go towards your friendship, towards your relationships, your romantic relationships. So it's like now you're becoming like a yes man to everybody.
You know,
So-
it's funny.
And-
We were just talking about yes theory about this. I'm like, I guess this is the time where I say no.
Yeah, and then this, like I said, like this is your time, this is your chance to be selfish and take care of yourself. Because like from the way you're saying that, you're like your mind is constantly going fucking 100 miles per
100
hour.
miles.
You're probably worrying about all sorts of bullshit.
Which I'm
Like-
not supposed to.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to live your life like that.
Right.
And that's why you're in therapy, dude, because you're like you're just dealing with everybody's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you're already dealing with your own bullshit.
And then
Then you gotta deal with everybody else's
Yep.
shit too. So it's like now, hey, like I'm saying this as an advice. You listen to it or you don't. I don't care. But like this is your time that to like be you and like put yourself first in front of everybody else. Because if you can't take care of yourself, then who's gonna?
who's gonna take care of you?
Yeah.
All right. You can't just like ask somebody to just
Exactly.
hey, baby me.
Even like the example of like in the plane, right? When they say, "I'll put your mask first
Yeah.
before you help somebody
You
else."
put your mask first before somebody else.
Exactly. It's like take care of yourself first. Like who's gonna take care of you? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, hey,
There's a start. There you go.
like I honestly like being selfish is so freeing, dude. I'm telling you.
And that's the thing too, right? Like being selfish is also equivalent to freedom.
Yeah, and then I feel like we put so much negative connotation when we say selfish. Or when I say selfish, I'm just saying put yourself first, take care of yourself 1st. That's all it is.
Right.
And then like once you do that, once you really like take care of yourself, then you're gonna feel so much better taking care of other people.
Right.
Because there's no resentment, you know what I mean? Like you've already you're so happy with your life that like when you're basically giving from a positive, you know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of like you're just draining yourself because, you know, you got to take care of your family and all that shit.
Not just family, with other people too, because like you've said, people pleaser, not just like family, friends, romantic relationships. It takes a toll at some point. So that's what I've been like trying to like learn myself too, because like during my therapy, that's what my therapist actually told me. Like,
Self-love, bro.
yeah, basically, like if I have to like go work out and make myself look good, do it.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've been doing recently. Like a lot of my time is basically putting myself first, like booking trips ahead of time, like right now, like without anybody, is something that I actually can do for myself.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not gonna do this for me, I mean nobody's gonna do it for me. Of course.
Yeah. And then one thing too is like you don't have to drop everything, right?
Right.
Like when you say like, "Oh, I'm gonna put myself first," I'm not saying like stop paying for your like house bills and like fuck your family. You know what I mean? Like it can just be like one small step, right? I don't know. Maybe you can ask your family like, "Hey, can you help me with this bill so I can save more money or whatever." Like whatever the conversation is. Like you gotta have that conversation with your family, and then hopefully for the people that are around you that you're helping. Like, I don't think they should take that as like you don't care about them. You know,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be just like, oh, okay, like you know what I mean.
Right. And some people like
I mean, if you have like other people that are just like, no, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna get mad at you for doing what's best for you, then I don't know. That's probably not the best people around you. You know?
Yeah, like I mean, family can be toxic, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
Family's family.
right, and they will tell you like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And I'm like, sometimes you
Especially in like Asian cultures, I feel like we're so
family oriented.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about Asian. I'm just speaking from Filipino culture. Like it's very family oriented.
Yeah,
That
guilt tripping is like the one toxic thing.
I'm so like I said, like I'm so lucky that my mom's not like that.
You're lucky. You are.
Yeah,
really
I
lucky.
am lucky, dude. That's why I get to do this is because my mom is like not like that, you know. Even though like we're not super close, but like she just, you know,
Yeah.
she just lets me do whatever I want.
And that's good. At least like you have a supportive parent that actually like helps you out. So, yeah. Yeah, dude.
Hey, now you got some like things to think about, things that you need to be working on.
That's a lot of input. Like once I get my traveling done, yeah, I should start right now.
Yeah, honestly, you can
Like-
start right now. You can,
Like why wait? Why wait till
yeah,
like,
exactly. Like you're
it's like-
don't be one of those like New Year's
Hell
resolution
no.
people. Be like, I'm gonna wait till New Year's so I can do whatever I need to do. Be like, no, you start today.
It's like when I got back from my Bali trip, like, okay, I'm just gonna spill it out. Like, I had a really rough time on that trip, but as soon as I land back, I'm like, I'm gonna start working on myself.
Yeah.
And
How old are you now?
dude, I'm 31.
Oh, perfect timing, dude. I
Exactly.
feel like once you start 30s, that's when you really like start learning about yourself.
Because like on your 20s, you're still like enjoying like your
Yeah.
youth. Like you're phasing out your youth, but at the same time, you're trying to most out of it.
Yeah. And
So-
like 30, I don't know, like once I turned 30, it's like that's when I really like started to kind of, you know, becoming more of myself. So yeah, I wish you the best, man. Like hopefully you figure it out, dude.
Yeah.
Like hopefully when you come back to the podcast again, you're like,
Hey, I'm a different person, Jerry.
yeah, hopefully you're in a different situation, different person.
Episode 40, probably like like I would say 17, 20 countries. Because right now I'm on country number 7.
Oh, nice. Hey, you've been around everywhere, dude, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast, bro.
Anytime, man. Like I've said, like thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Like, I know when you hit me up and be like, I haven't seen Francis for a long time.
I know.
And then you're just like, oh, let me come to talk about traveling. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, next time we'll probably talk about something else, like updates.
Yeah, updates and whatever you've been working on, you know?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're always welcome to come to the podcast, dude.
Yeah. Next time we'll invite the other crew. Like we'll revisit that conversation from like last couple of years ago.
Oh, the
The
photography
photographers
one.
like
Yeah.
see how they're doing. Like, hey, it's been like what, a decade?
Yeah, I haven't talked to the other photographers for a while too. So I don't know. Maybe they'll come on the podcast.
Yeah, Jay, PJ, Caesar.
Yeah, I haven't had PJ in a while too. I haven't talked to PJ, and then I want PJ to come to the podcast too at some point.
We'll set it up, dude. Let's set it up.
Yeah,
Like-
it's gonna be cool to just see how everybody else is doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 years from now, like, hey guys, what's up? All right.
But yeah, any last words?
Once again, thank you again for having me on this podcast, and
Yeah,
I
of
really
course.
appreciate it. I've learned a lot.
You have a
especially
good time.
Oh yeah, like I'm more confident talking to like this rather than like vlogging. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, because honestly, like podcast is so easy. We're just like talking, you know.
All right, but yeah, thanks again.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug? Social media, or you don't care?
I don't care about social media. Social media right now for me is toxic, so I'm like staying away from it.
Hey.
I'm like, I just watch your YouTube videos and your Facebook posts, and basically that's how I catch up.
Hey, that's fair, dude.
Yeah, I support you as a friend. I support you on like all things. So
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
yeah, anytime.
But yeah, I guess that's it for this week's episode. Thank you again for coming, and
Anytime.
see you guys next week. Peace.